Hello everybody, welcome to High Playing Games. Simon here. I hope you are having a grandiose weekend. I thought it'd be time to quickly chip in between qualifying and race for the Brazilian Grand Prix F1 2019 in real life to do some more of my F2 Championship because we have moved Failcast to Wednesday this week. So there you just saw the Championship standings, or at least the top selection of them anyway. As always, I go into this blind, which usually is a interesting state of affairs. Let's see how we get on. Do. Bum ba bum bum ba 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 bum bum bum.
Here we are then, waiting for the green light to get qualifying underway for the British race.
Good. Now, how are we looking? We're looking dry. Good. It's not often that I quite like it going in dry, but that helps me. Just in case people are interested in the setup. 4 and 7. There we go. I've not driven this for a couple of weeks, so this could be horrific, and indeed it is. It'll take me a while to get used to, so apologies. But that's half the fun. Oh, that's not half the fun. The problem with me is that I've been playing Gran Turismo Sport today, and we know that the steering on that game, whilst I very much enjoy GT Sport, nothing in that game is subtle. Oh, they're going to actually make George Russell do well in this round. He's had a torrid time in my game. Oh dear, that was a bit cheeky, never mind. Okay. Well, if I can sort out Sector 1, I think I might be alright around this round. Oh, and here. Well, that ruined that, didn't it? I don't mind 7th on the grid. That gives me something to work with for the race.
The grid is all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3.
Well done, Russell.
Which are Russell, Norris and Sergio Sette Camara. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself.
Oh,
join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action, and until then, goodbye.
Prema's down there. Teammate Giotto not doing great. As Deli tries to be fair. Both MPs at the bottom. And that Trident 14 and 18. Trident yet to score in my game so far of this season. So we'll see how that goes. As always with F2, feature race up first. I'm running 50% races. AI is at 90, I think, or 92. I can't remember. Thank you very good day, Random Aussie. Hope you're well. I'm having a good day.
And hello to everyone joining us here in Silverstone this weekend as the drivers make their final preparations for today's race. Here are the starting positions.
I'm not
for
getting
today's
copyright
race.
claimed for showing the map.
Russell lines up on pole position with Lando Norris alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Tete Camara, Albon, Nicholas Latifi, and Markelov, Merry, Aitken, Galeo, Nick De Vries, Cuoco, Makino, Luca Giotto, and Maney, Delatraz, Gunter, Fukuzumi, and Alessio Lurani. Boccalacci and Nico Kari completes the grid.
Oh, sorry, Roy.
Just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
I was going to start something earlier, but I was busy tying whether or not I was going to have a takeaway. And then I didn't. And then I was busy uploading videos for the rest of the channel.
Into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
Why would you two-stop? That seems like suicide on this. Even the track maps get you done in, for fuck's sake. Yes, they do, James. Hey, James, hope you're well. Xfinity Series finale at the same time. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise I was on at the same time as Motorsport. I try and do it so that I'm not live when other people have to watch Motorsport. We all know what the problem of the calendar is. The intro gets me done. Now they've changed the game to say that starts are now, the AI are less good, but that only seems to work in Formula 1. In Formula 2 it seems less the case. Oh, Galeo, you cheeky bard. I feel like that's going to go wrong. How we've still got a wing, I do not know. Just ahead of Aitken and his unbelievably low voice. Don't worry, I can multitask. So can I. Reading the comments and overtaking. That won't happen again. It's only Latifi. Thank you, Artem.
That's a strong start. Well done.
I was just saying to myself, actually, and a few people in a F1 chat that I'm in, about how much I adore the Interlagos circuit. We've just had the Brazilian qualifying a couple of hours ago. I didn't throw up the most exciting qualifying session in the world, but I do love how the grid is always so tight in that place, and it always has been historically. I'm very intrigued actually for the race, because we could very much have a Verstappen win. Whoa, the car just didn't want to turn. I'd also be really interested if we're going to get a Hamilton goes off the boil now that he's won the championship again issue. Also random Aussie, if you could let me know who is leading in the Xfinity Series finale, that would be handy as I peer down on the streets. Set a camera, potentially the next Brazilian into F1, if it ever works. What have we got there? Simon Brown Pants, what did I... Oh, yellow... No, don't over... Oh, it's Norris retiring, but yellow flags. How annoying. I'll get you next time, Sergio.
The track is clear. Green flag.
However,
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
actually, that is proper cool because Norris has got a redonkulous lead in this championship. Don't know what happened there. Why did he brake? That corner's flat out. So with him out of the equation, this is good for us and our championship. Assuming I don't bin it. Tile Reddick, Colcuster. Oh, cool. Thank you. I have to say, I'm a bit out of the loop now with Nur's car. I also haven't seen the... I know it's not quite related, but I do want to go and see the Ford versus Thingamabob movie that's just come out. It would be much better if it was called Ford versus Thingamabob. I hear that it's very good. Oh, we've got Durs. Hello, hi Plinkers. Hey, low budget gaming. I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing? Now that you have a multi-channel empire going on over there. I know I've said it before, but if anyone is looking for free games and all of the latest deals, go follow Low Budget Gaming. I've always got my BDI on there. That's how I can afford half of the games I buy.
That's a new fastest lap for the race. We're leading our teammate by 6.3 seconds.
Between that and posterbargain.com is normally where I go. Oh, George! You filth pot! Oh, we're a bit heavy on the old accelerator. Oh, and he's got Durs. What a moose! Hey, Manor. Round 7 again. Oh, have we done round 7? Oh. Unless I was premature. I might have been premature last round by calling it round 7. Don't tell anyone though, I've already got a bad enough reputation about these things as it is. Oh. Georgie Porgy gets the girls. Wait, it's round 7. Oh, in the F2 Championship it's round 7. Ah, there's too many comments and I'm trying to look down at my phone.
Nice work.
I will catch you on a straight. Ah, no, 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 no. Yes. Ish. Oh, I love these cars.
Now.
Latest YouTube dramas, don't know. Ah, when is there not a YouTube drama going on? I'm so bored of it. So I've pushed, why I'm being much more, not aggressive, but I'm just making, oh god, that was a bit aggressive. Whoopsie! Oh, see, that's the rage that YouTube gives me. I feel like I was driving on one of those toddler-driven, like, drawing circuits of the map, where you're like, I see what you did there, but I wouldn't put that on the fridge. Yeah, and anyway, yeah, YouTube's driving me up the wall. Now with this, the law thing about saying whether or not your videos are made for kids or not, I'm like, well, kids play games, but I'm not specifically making it for children. And then they're like, well, then you'll receive less revenue. And I'm like, well, I get like 0.07 pounds anyway. Oh, hello. Oh, George is inside me. Stop it. I can never remember where the thing is here. Will be extra rubbish on the pit-in. Interesting story of Ford versus Ferrari. That's it. Thank you. Ford versus Ferrari.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Release, release.
Ah! I don't think that was supposed to happen, but okay. Okay, boomer. I know my memes.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
I feel like I'm on the wet tyres with that big blue band. Oh, this feels horrible on these tyres. May I have some tyre temperature, please? Try not to take it out of context challenge. Welcome to my streams. Oh dear. I need to catch up on the Macau race actually. I love that Formula 3 have gone to Macau for a non-championship event. Also very good to see that Sophia Flörsch is back behind the wheel of her car, 1 year on from that horrible accident that she had. I didn't actually realise that she was going to be coming back until I saw her on the times. I was like, ooh.
Luca is in the pits. Luca in the pits.
Grand. I'm assuming Russell will have the legs on me. Maybe half a tit. Oh, the car's horrible around turn 1.
You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up.
Knew it. I'm coming for you. I don't think this game does. How would you think an F1 car would do at Macau? I think it would be utterly hilarious. There are a couple of the corners. I'm thinking of the one right the way towards the end where it literally doubles back on itself. Where I don't think the cars would have the turn-in circle to get round. I feel like I need to do a Macau Project Cars race or something with the F1 car. It's something Ben and I were talking about actually, that we should do like some improbable races. Taking the go-karts round Monaco. In a similar way that I'd be really interested to see if an F1 car could get round Po. Because if an F1 car can get round Po, we can essentially just have like a Grand Prix in every country bumpkin town ever made. Oh, talking of bumpy, shitty circuits though. Well, not shitty circuits, Macau's great. the tickets for Formula E in London have gone live, and this is going to sound utterly insensitive, but unless you're disabled, tickets are £48 for the day, and they've put all of the seating on the start-finish straight and down in the final turn, or turn one. I can't remember which way the circuit actually goes. And there's nothing to view any of the outside corners, which is where all the overtaking would take place. I mean, if you're down at turn one, you'll get the inevitable Formula E shunt and smash pile up down at turn one. But it just seems like a really bad deal. If anyone else tunes into the Failcast, Ben lives in Berlin, Germany, and he's gone to the Berlin E-Prix, and it's €12 for the whole day, and he's sitting down at turn one getting all kinds of stuff, and it just, once again, it's the whole we have to pay 3 times as much because we're London wankers. It just feels really unfair. So even though you get 20% off the early bird price for booking before, I think it's December 3rd, because it's such poor seating and such poor value for money, because there's nothing there that really supports it apart from the like remote control car bit. I've kind of gone from an ooh, that's quite near me, I might actually go, to meh, I'm not so interested at all. Come on, Schmiffy, come on! Ah! Oh, this tyre feels so slow. Who sets the ticket prices then? Ticket prices are often the venue in general. So, now obviously, like Formula One, if you was like hosting the prices there, they will take a cut of, like they charge a promoter's fee to set up the actual place itself. Then it's up to the venue to basically include the promoter's fee like as part of the ticketing costs to make their event profitable. Which is why you see such massive discrepancies, because sometimes the promoters will want to introduce, say, that racing to a new market, so therefore actually if they're going like Baku, for example, I'd imagine, and I'd imagine the same would be going for Vietnam. Because it's a new area, quite often promoters will waive their fee for like the first couple of years, because then that means that you can offer really good ticket deals for the first time going, and then you'll get like a good like year one surge crowd, and you can promote it as like a really, really huge event and kind of hike the tickets over time. But yeah, like €12 seems like a ridiculously good deal for like the one-day event. But when I was looking at the London E-Prix stuff, because it's it's a 2-day for 2 rounds event. If you want like the all-inclusive package, it's £149. I was like, I could buy me a Dyson and probably take that onto the track for full-time running at that effect. See how much rage it gives me? I can't even stay in the lines. I saw there was another comment underneath, but I need the hanger straight to be able to read it. I also got a massive craving for some cider. So wait, why are the tracks you're talking about on PC? Are they mods are in the actual game? They're in the actual game, I think. I will check on Macau. Macau's certainly in Ride, for goodness sake. Ride 2. So if Milestone were able to get a license for something. Fingers crossed. Some other people did as well. Monaco is certainly
That was the
in
fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
Project Cars. I know that. Can't remember if Macau is or not. Po isn't. But I have enjoyed. I'm sure I've got Po on R Factor as a mod track. When I'd go League Sim Racing, which I'll be looking to rejoin doing actually when I've afforded my PC upgrade, which I'll only be able to do when I stop buying stuff to build the recording studio stuff that I'm doing, so that I can start doing big pieces to camera, and stop buying computer games in general. This year I've just been like, oh, I want it, buy it. And it's been like that for PS4 and for PC. Very expensive. If I just like stopped buying games that I spot on like 50% off, I could probably afford to buy a house. Like Project Cars 3 supported mobs, and I feel like it'd be an amazing game. Agree! I've been holding out on Assetto Corsa Competizione because I will want, where my PC won't be able to run it properly. I've not bothered with the early access of that, and I will be waiting for consoles. I strongly disliked the handling of Assetto Corsa. Mainly because I'm lazy and I drive with a gamepad. And that game, you need a wheel. In the same way really with R Factor 2 you need a wheel, which really annoys me. Like, I've been able to play around with controller settings and dead zones and all of that kind of stuff to be able to try and emulate a smoother driving style on R Factor 2, but it's all about the tyre warming. Like, actually being able to hit apexes and drive cars is perfectly fine, but you just burn the tyres to a shred, and then you lose the grip, and then you have to pit a million times, and so you can never be competitive in a race. In my opinion, anyway. And I've always been slightly harsh on tyre wear as it is. Which is why I've kind of settled down on the F1 series as my go-to for racing at the minute. Although, in the recent subscribers poll, where I was saying, oh, what retro consoles would you like me to start doing? Oh my god, Snippy. PS2 won by an absolute mile, and I've got some really good racing games on the PS2, well, on the PS1 as well, that I'm going to be enjoying going back into, because the lack of precision and prowess on those games make actually playing them a really unforgiving cluster. So I'm hoping to bring along PS Tuesdays and do a little series on that. But I'd quite like to do it almost like a TV show format, where I've bought and just built some like a stall, and then I'll put it in front of a little backdrop and I'll say some shit, and then we'll get to the game. It'll be my attempt to start trying to make things vaguely a bit professional, with the plan that people will then want to support with $1/ equivalent per month on Patreon to help me grow my network. He says. That is a massive comment. Hang on. Race driver grid free, please. Yes, agree. I've not played the new grid though, and I've heard really differing opinions, which is why I'm waiting for it to be about 25 quid before I buy it. Sorry, I'm trying to read that massive comment, Random Aussie. I will get to it when I've got a nice straight. Tyres are getting a bit squeaky bum bum. Okay, I'd like to see a feature that allows you to build your own tracks, paint schemes and cars. Yes. I'm desperate for a track builder in a type of game like this. I remember I used to spend, well, I still do actually when I get it out. There's a PC game called Gene Rally that let you build tracks. It's like a one-screen like Micro Machine style game. And I used to love playing with the track builder on that for hours on end. I have had for years on my Steam wishlist Bob's Track Builder, but I feel like I would need to know some code. To really get the most out of that. Another thing that I've been like my inner Herman Tilk. I actually shit. See, even the car is like, don't say that name. Don't say that name. I quite like. I've done a few of them, and I'll have to do one live on the channel. I adore City Skylines, and what I like doing is building a purpose venue racetrack in City Skylines, and then like making out how the city would then work around it and stuff like that, and making it like the main feature. Do a Mexico and like put a stadium in the middle and stuff. Very good fun. I'm just very sad, really. That's why it was quite frustrating when Dirt 4 done that, like, we can build you random rallies, and it was just taking sections of stuff, and it was quite interesting, but you could never. I just wanted to build my own and then upload it, and then it would be really cool because I'd say, oh, type in this number seed and let's have a time trial event. Person with the top time gets, I don't know, £5 PSN or £5 Steam voucher card or something like that. Could have made it good fun for us. I don't mind stumping up the prizes if we're all having a giggle. Ah! Damn.
Superb driving. That's the race win.
V-Rally 2. Oh, Manor, you beast. I was playing V-Rally 3 the other week, actually.
Victory for Campos today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
Well, I'm not sure what we just saw, but one thing's for sure. Today's winner has certainly showed they have no fear battling it out on the track. And who can blame them? I don't think I've ever seen someone through the competition so good. Today's race was a sight to behold. From the crowd's reaction, it went down well with the
Made me laughed on Instagram today.
It's time to present
that is the main point why I was quite fancied the Monster Energy Supercross games, because of their track builder.
On the top step.
if Milestone could bring a track builder to some of their mildly mediocre racing games, then I'd be quite interested. I desperately want a BTCC game. Obviously with more tracks though. Cody's sort it
After
out.
this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It was not the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
I think it has to be Maximilian Gunter.
Oh.
He got the strategy spot on and consistently at the pace to come through as well.
And now a look at the team standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from ART this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. Goodbye for now then,
Indeed.
but we really are just getting started.
So
Make
Gunther
sure you
gets
join us again for Lights Out
the reverse
tomorrow.
grid pole. No other big dramas going on there, I don't think. Congratulations Tyler Reddick for getting the Xfinity title. Thanks James for letting me know. Did anything else juicy happen? 5-second time penalty for camera for ignoring yellow flags. I don't think he did. I think that's a lie. Never mind. Right, let's take a look at the standings before we move on to the sprint race. So yeah, we've closed into 21 points now from Norris. We could do this. Russell moves up to 7 ahead of our teammate. Gunther gets ahead of Boccolacci, who has no right to be 13th in that standing. Cool. And that was Tadasuke Makino's first point. Hurrah! Well done. ART ahead of Russian time. Carlin have romped away with this. What Cody should do is make it or bring back Toka with multiple different series. Yes, because my understanding was that the original Toka games in other countries weren't Toka, they were World Touring Car, but I might have made that up. Or V8 Supercars. I'd quite like a V8 Supercars game, actually.
To set the grid for the sprint race here today, and the drivers are almost ready on the grid down below.
That being said, I've absolutely turned away from V8 Supercars because they just seem to...
As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi.
Cool. Love Davide, but no. It was V8 Supercars in Australia. Cool. Thank you, Ozzy.
Right, let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
But yeah, there seems to be like some really odd decisions in V8 Supercars, and like not very much. We bitch about F1 not having overtaking. V8 Supercars is way worse. But I enjoy seeing everyone going around, and maybe it's because I'm so used to BTCC being an absolute smash up fest. V8 Supercars kind of feels like a weird, because it's the fastest like touring car style stuff. It feels like they're also stuck in the same issues that F1 is in terms of everything's too quick, so therefore no one can overtake. Oh, I knew you'd be going for that, Makino. Sorry, Louis. I'm coming through. Alright, 11 laps to get back. Where should we fix next few seasons? Yes. Because actually, when I thoroughly enjoy watching the V8 Supercars go round and have good fun, but there just seems to be really weird rules, particularly the one where someone completely cut loads of the track and stayed in the lead. That really irked me earlier on in the season. I was just like, oh no. BTCC has the same problems. with people smashing into each other, and bumper car tactics
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around you.
from the usual suspects. So says I as I gently touch Russell. Go on, Maxi Gunter. I know you're off to Formula E now, but if you could just hold everyone up in your Arden, that would be lovely. Ooh, Aitken locks up. Slippery when dry. I don't think I'm brave enough. I'm brave.
Nice move. Good job.
Good, because I've left a pile of streak of shit behind me after that one. I did not expect to come out. Oh, ah! No, don't do it. Oh, I didn't mean to. Shit.
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
No shit, Jeff. Oh, now it's become... Now I've gone all BTCC on the world. Ah! I'm sorry, everyone. I'm now watching THL Smith. I was quite pleased at me being able to get a dig in about Jason Plato in the most recent Circuits of the Past video I narrated. The gentleman that does the all of the stuff, Herman, that runs that channel, just goes, if you can pepper it with a joke or two, that'll be great. I was like, Oh, she's a fighter. The one at Cadwell Park. Yes. That's the one, James. Next week, as I... Actually, it's the... Once the stream is finished, because my microphone's all set up, I'll be narrating next week's video after the stream, and it is... oh God. It's a British circuit. It's the last one. I'm going to say Brands Hatch, I think, is the last one that we've got from his tour around circuits in 2018. He hasn't. He's not been to Australia. He would love to. I'm sure he would. I don't know how he gets around to do it all. I'm so jealous. I'm sure it's Brands Hatch. If that's not one that I've just recently done. Because he tried to get into Silverstone and they didn't reply to any of his emails. Probably thought he was some kind of... send me money Western Union transfer. But yeah, that's why all of his stuff is European based.
Just take care when you load them up.
Because of where he's based. But if he can get out to other places, I'm sure he will. I don't know what else he's got in the pipeline, actually, because I literally get a Word document popped into my emails and it just goes, and it's in beautiful European English. The channel's called Circuits of the Past, Manor. So it's a gentleman called Herman. I've forgotten his surname. It's not Tilk, don't worry. And he goes around circuits that are abandoned, videoing them, trying to find out the history of them, and occasionally getting out to actually do like laps around them in cars and stuff. Yeah, Bathurst would be good. I'd imagine Adelaide would be quite good as well. I know it's still in use, but it's had different layouts. Basically anything that is either disused or has like loads and loads of different layouts, some of which that aren't available anymore, kind of is where his speciality lies. But yeah, up until this year all of his stuff was being narrated by himself, but whilst his English is way better than my German or Austrian, whatever, I think I'm sure he's German. A lot of people complained that it was very difficult to understand what he says, so we're slowly going through his back catalogue narrating stuff. You get to hear me pretend to be professional for 5 minutes. And I'm so proud I've not even put in a bum joke or a cock joke yet. When I'm commentating on live sim racing, I couldn't even get away with that. That's why I'm not allowed to do well, it's one of the many reasons why I don't do iRacing commentary anymore. He's not professional. And he's British. And he'll never amount to anything, that Simon, nor that Jack Nichols. I couldn't believe it when they sacked us both and said that they didn't want either of us back. Jack was like, it's alright, I'm good. Off to the BBC.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Gap to teammate behind is 5.8 seconds.
Ooh, that was a cheeky cut of the track, sozzle. Thanks, James, for listing those. Primarily all of the circuits that I can't actually say properly, so be kind on my pronunciations of French and German things. Particularly when I have to go to... when I type in the name of the circuit and put in the word pronunciation next to Google, and all you get is that horrible robot lady who's like, Vroom-Guyo! You're like, oh! I'm sure that's not how you say it, but oh well! Everyone comments that I butcher the name underneath. This has gone surprisingly well. This is the second round in a row where I seem to have got a double win. I'm not so good at Hungary, that's next. This is my peak. Or is it Germany next? I can't remember. Or F2. Must be Germany then Hungary. Oh. Ah, shitbags. Spoke too soon. Shall I be cheeky? Let's be cheeky. I'll do a... There we go. Commentator's curse, indeed. Done enough of those in my time. I do have old broadcast videos actually of leagues I've commentated on in the past and stuff like that. I don't know if that would be of interest to people. Back when there used to be a service called PSR TV, called Pro Sim Racing TV. Because actually when you're doing esports commentary, very, very difficult to do. Because you have to log into a broadcast machine remotely, and then you're viewing the computer game through something that's going normally between 5 and 10 frames per second. Quite often in black and white as well, actually. Or it used to be back then. It's better now. Oh shit, Aiken's got through. Oh no, he hasn't. Then you'd be in TeamSpeak and you'd have someone talking in your ear as a spotter whilst you talk about other things. And then if you was able to, you'd have your own PC going so that you could kind of be in the game and have like a third eye. So even though you just go, oh, it's just a game, actually it's quite difficult to stay on top of. The spear yellow flags. Oh, Kari. Don't you know where Nico Kari is this year? Did he go back down to F3? Does the man take requests? I don't know. You can pop it in the track, in the comments forum. I think yeah, Rockingham would be superb, especially now that it's it's not discontinued. I don't think it's closed for good. It's not on any big radar anymore for any big events now that it's lost the BTCC event, which I thought was a shame. I really liked the BTCC going there.
3.6 seconds.
I don't like circuits having 2 weekends, particularly when they're not doing anything different. Like, I really like Thruxton as a circuit, but we don't need to go there twice.
Caution, caution.
Yeah, track day thing,
We're leading
yeah.
our teammate by 5.8 seconds.
Well, that might interest Herman, actually. Stick it in the comments, because if he's going to organise a trip across the UK and get some more circuits done, he'll probably stick Rockingham on. Where I live in Harlow in Essex in the UK, my train into work goes past the karting track that I believe Lewis Hamilton used to go to. Oh, someone else just retired. Oh, Atkins! Ah, Jack! No! The F2 memester is out. This car is really struggling. Ah, that'll be why. I'm just glad that Gunther has basically bottle corked the entire field, because otherwise I think I would have been done for.
This is your final lap of the race.
Essex Speedway doesn't do it, yeah. And to be fair, there's enough bloody boy racers in Essex. I feel like it would be perfectly fine. That being said, though, we've now got an indoor goat track. What? No, indoor go-kart track. I'd quite like an indoor goat track as well. But yeah, I've never been to it though, but I have seen people do like GoPro helmet cam circuits around it. It just looks like you're going racing in a car park, but it does kind of go in and out of the building, which is quite cool. Southend Freeze Seafront has enough races going on. Yes, it does. Oh my god. So, well, this is a throwback. About 10 years ago, I had an ex-partner whose parents lived at not Southend. What's the shitty town next? Shoebury-Ness. That's it. Their parents lived down there, and so at the weekends we'd go down, and I'd be like, "Can we go to the seafront way, please? Because then I get to be all stick of rock and proud to be British." Basically, it was just me going, "Can I have some chips, please?" Because I'm fat as fuck. And my partner at the time had
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
a Fiat Coupe that looked quite fast and snazzy, but wasn't necessarily. It was just a pain in the arse to keep it on the road. Super expensive and guzzled fuel like a porn star guzzles cum, basically. I can't think of a better way of saying it. So everyone would then park up next to us and be like, and I'd be like, oh, don't race the gays. So yeah, it was just a awkward go across Southend all the time.
I guarantee the fund will certainly be talking about
Don't miss
Spain
that.
for a long time to come.
I can see them on their way out to the podium now. Campos have come a really long way in this sport. And what a special race
Campos
this
may be
was
going all the way
see
to
them earn
Formula
the top
One,
spot.
if the rumours are correct. Not heard anything about that actually recently. Because wasn't there a deadline at the end of last
And now,
month?
let's
Or is
take
it
a
the end
look
of
at
this
the
month?
driver's stand.
I can't
The
remember.
gap at the top of the
We'll find
championship
out.
has been cut down after a difficult race for our championship leader. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
I have to give it
Is
to
it bad
Roberto
that I
Meri.
thought
Was
that was
probably
the
one of
analogy
his
he was
best
gonna
driver of the
use?
season, and I was very impressed.
And
No,
here's
Mano,
how
you
things
just
are
know me
shaping
well.
up in the teams championship. We saw a
You've
dip in
suffered
form
enough of
from the
those
championship
TSA
leaders today.
Monday night
Their
streams
lead
with
has
me
taken
in.
a significant blow. There was also a strong showing from the Russian time team today as they make their way up the standings. There will
Wait,
be
Campos to
plenty more
F1.
twists
Yes,
and turns
that's
to
the
come this
latest.
season. I hope you'll join us at the next
So
race
Campos
when
F1,
Formula
sorry,
2 returns.
Campos Racing have said that they are busy preparing an F1 entry, but that it needs to be kind of reviewed. And I think it's by the end of this month that it needs to be reviewed to see whether or not they'll be ready for 2021. Because they're looking at it, and so is a Chinese consortium to come in with a new team as well. What happened to Lando? Lando 15th from 20th, so clearly lots of overtaking happened. Don't know what happened to Smelatraz, down to last. I think he must have hurt his front wing or something. That's normally what happens with those. Aitken and Kari, the retirements. Chinatime F1. Noodle Supreme. No other big surprises there. Let's take a look at the standings. So we're now just 4 points behind Lando Norris in the championship. Gunther bounces up ahead of Delatraz. No other changes there. I can't believe how underperforming Russell is in this game. Russian time equals on points with ART but gets ahead on results. Trident doing their Williams best. Cool. Well, that's it for this one. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has a good weekend of motorsports. Ben and I will be doing Failcast on Wednesday this week. Basically, we seem to get more viewers if we stream during the week. We only stream in the week when we cancel the weekend, so we thought, fuck it. We'll try a Wednesday on purpose, so probably they will turn up. That'll be Wednesday from about 6 PM UK time, maybe 6:30 if I get caught on the train, because you know what UK rail is like. Enjoy the Brazilian Grand Prix, and if you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up and stuff. That's about as corporate and YouTubey as I'll ever fucking get. Bye!